Ape Escape tells the story of an ape named Spectre who gains enhanced intelligence and a malevolent streak through the use of an experimental helmet. Spectre produces an army of apes, which he sends through time in an attempt to rewrite history. Spike, the playable character, sets out to capture the apes and save the world. Starting with the positives, Ape Escape is addicting as hell. Capturing all the monkeys, trying new ways and creative ways to capture said monkey, and just going through the levels, defeating the enemies, is so much fun. I had a blast with this game. It was probably one of the more fun games I've played this year, honestly. There's a ton of different gadgets you can use when capturing the monkeys. You got your stun club, which can stun them. You got the time net, which captures them. Water net, which shoots the net underwater and captures them. You got a monkey radar in case you're having a hard time, you can find them. A slingshot for when you want to shoot the monkeys that are hanging off the roof or whatever. You got a dash loop, which makes you run faster. The sky flyer, which makes you glide up in the air and you can have higher jumps with that. The RC car to run them over. And finally, the magic punch, which punches everything in one hit, and it's very fun to use. All these gadgets are very helpful. None of them feel out of place, and I've used all of them in my run through Ape Escape, and I like them all. And speaking of varieties, one of my favorite aspects of Ape Escape is that every single monkey that you capture is unique. Everyone has their own name and has their own personality, and I really like that a lot. All the different stages are unique too. You're going from prehistoric time period up until modern times. Well, at least 90s, but you get what I mean. It's still really cool to go through each level and try to capture the monkeys, and the graphics in this game are really good. This game came out in 1999, and I would say this game still holds up. Sure, you can say it looks a little blocky, but in my opinion, I think the backgrounds definitely make up for it. The environments make up for it. The actual character designs are really cool. They all have these 90s anime aesthetic, and I really like it a lot. The soundtrack for this video game is a huge plus. I love the opening song that plays. It's really catchy, and it just gets you hyped up to be like, yeah, I'm going to be fucking playing Ape Escape. It's awesome. And the rest of the music is fantastic as well. Now, I do have some mixed elements with this game. It's not all perfect, unfortunately, but the controls do take a little getting used to. For starters, this was one of the first PS1 games that made you use the DualShock, and you had to use both thumbsticks to play this game. Not only to move, but to use your different weapons. And while it's a little clunky at first, after a while, you get used to it. Now, while I do like the way Ape Escape controls, there is one aspect of this game that I just do not like when it comes to the controls, and that's rowing the boat or driving the tank. I thought those were clunky as shit, and it was a hard time, and I don't know, I struggled a lot. Another big complaint that I have with this game is that I wish there were boss fights. Now, while this game does have its fair share of bosses, they aren't really that special, and a lot of them are just powered up normal enemies. The only real boss in this game is towards the end, and really it was pretty easy. A complaint I can understand people having is that this game is a little too easy. Now, while there are some challenging moments in this game, none of them are impossible. And you can definitely say that this game is just too easy. However, that really is it for my complaints. Overall, Ape Escape is a phenomenal game, and I think anybody can play it. I had a great time with Ape Escape, and I actually look forward to checking out the rest of this series because if the first game is amazing, the others have to be at least good. Now, I did check out the PSP remake on PS5 because I was just added to PS Plus, and for the most part, it's not bad. It definitely works, but for me personally, I think the PS1 version is the way to go. The voice acting is definitely questionable, but as a fan of old school anime, I felt very at home with the old school aesthetic with this voice acting. It definitely sounded like a cheesy 90s anime dub, and I really liked it. I'm not knocking any of the voice acting. It is cheesy, but I love it. I truly am grateful to finally play Ape Escape, and it became one of my favorite games that I played this year, maybe of all time. Who knows? Well, we'll see. However, if you are interested in hearing more of my thoughts on Ape Escape, I will be a guest on the Cartridge Club podcast. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a group of gamers where we get together and we play a game of that month. Like this month was Ape Escape, last month was Contra, previous month was Tears of the Kingdom, and so on and so on and so on. And it's a wonderful community filled with some really great people. They're all very kind, they're all very welcoming, and if you want to join the Cartridge Club, I'm sure there is a Discord link in their YouTube channel that I'll leave in the description down below. And we would love to have you in just to talk about video games. It's a wonderful place. I highly recommend it. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. Let me know down below what you thought of Ape Escape. Are the other games good? Let me know down below. I'll catch you next time. Big thanks to Miasma Senpai, Warp8, and Ash the Man for supporting me on Patreon. You guys are awesome.